Oh, y'all on time tonight. Hey, y'all. Hey. When y'all get in here, tell me where y'all from. City and state, please. And thank you. What up? What up? What up? Hey, Jess. Girl, I thought I was grown today. I done put clothes on 3 days in a row and came to the office. So I will be in pajamas for the rest of the week. Just throwing that out there. Hey, Miss Jacobs. Ooh. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Anytime I do any lives or anything like that, I always give people a few minutes to get in here. So we will actually start at 7:03. Where the hell did my PDF go? Bless it. Y'all can't find my slides. That was weird. Lots of people from Cleveland. Okay, okay. There we go. Y'all got like this super annoying cough, so bear with me, but I got me some tea. Got me some tea. United States Air Force out in the UK. Jersey is home though. Okay, Mercedes. Can y'all hear me okay? Everybody can hear me, see me? Yes, cool. So I don't have a lot of slides because anytime I do classes, I like to give y'all the game, cover whatever topic it is that we need to cover, and then I need questions. So there is a Q&A option on here. So if you have questions, please make sure that you guys are putting the questions in the Q&A box and not in the chat. There was almost 1,000 people that registered for this webinar. I didn't have a chance to send out a reminder email because, again, I've been at the office all day working. So I'm pretty sure there will be quite a few people who are not on here, but we almost at 100 people already. So I just want to make sure if you guys have questions about anything, make sure that you are using the Q&A. And once I go through these slides, it's literally like 10 slides. Once I go through the slides, I will get to y'all questions. So let's get this show on the road. Show on the road. So those of you that do not know me, my name is Irene Day. I am the owner of Hannah Financial, which is a financial services company hailing out of good old Cleveland, Ohio. My company offers credit repair, legal credit repair, emphasis on legal credit repair, like licensed and bonded. We are licensed and bonded. And we also offer tax preparation. So this year, especially, it was very important that I made sure my clients, because we service a pretty good amount of clients on the tax side, that you guys had you had a better understanding of what this tax season is going to look like, and all that great stuff. So those of you that are not clients, y'all in here to get in the game. Hopefully we can make y'all come on over here to Hannah Financial. We'll do y'all real good, but let's get started. So first thing I want to talk about are the tax provisions that are being extended into tax year 2021 that were part of tax year 2020. So one of the things, if you withdrew from your retirement account in 2020 due to COVID, you were able to basically spread out that distribution on your taxes, like how you claimed it. So for instance, if you took out $9,000 out of your 401k due to COVID, you could break it up into the next 3 years. So you could do 3,000 this year, 3,000 the next year, and then 3,000 the third year. This is not being extended into tax year 2021. So if you withdrew from your 401k this year, you will have to claim that entire amount on your taxes for this year. If you did you spread out your reporting of your 401k withdrawal, you have to make sure that you have Form 8915E included on that tax return. If you are a Hannah Financial client, we filed your taxes last season. This is not something that you have to worry about because we already have this on file. Something else that is not being carried over into tax year 2021, the unemployment exemption. So at the beginning of the season, when Buddy Biden came into office, they passed legislation where the first $10,200 of unemployment was untaxed. We're not bringing that into 2021. So if you received unemployment this year, you are expected to pay taxes on that unemployment. So let's talk about provisions that were extended into 2021. So if you were out of work this year, everybody was affected by the pandemic in some way, shape, or form. The IRS gave you the opportunity to claim your adjusted gross income from 2019 on your 2020 taxes to be able to qualify for your refundable credits. So typically, if you received unemployment is not considered earned income. So your unemployment income would not count towards your earned income tax credit. Which means if you were somebody who got $20,000 in unemployment and that was the only income you had for 2020, you were not getting that almost $5,000 in earned income, in the earned income tax credit. So this year, you are able to claim your 2019 adjusted gross income again if your 2019 adjusted gross income is more than your earned income for tax year 2020. So basically, if I made more in 2019 than I did in 2021, I can claim my 2019 again to be able to qualify for my earned income tax credits. The recovery rebate credit. So basically this was the STEMI payments. So the $1,400 that you guys should have received at the beginning of this year, if you did not receive that $1,400, you can claim that on your tax return this year and get that money back. If you did receive it, you are going to receive letter 6475. So last year, this letter, it told you how much you received in stimulus payments. It had Donald Trump chicken scratch on the bottom. That letter should look the same, but this year should have Joe Biden's chicken scratch. That is a legal tax document. If you are filing your taxes, you will need that letter. If the numbers that are on that letter do not match what you file on your tax return, you will see a delay in your taxes being processed this year. Qualified sick and family leave. So this is for people who are self-employed, like hairdressers, barbers, nail techs, bartenders, anybody that receives income, earned income that is not W-2 wages. If you were out with COVID anytime this year, if you had to take care of somebody due to COVID, so like if you had kids did virtual learning this year. If you self-employed, 9 times out of 10, you couldn't work because you was at home taking care of the kids, right? This credit applies to you. The amount that you qualify for this credit for is going to be based on how much self-employed income you had. So if you are somebody, I was selling cakes and I only made $600, you are not going to be able to max out this credit. So something that I see often with people who are self-employed, they like to hide money from the IRS. And then when stuff like COVID happened, they want to wonder why they can't qualify for anything because you're not reporting your income to the IRS to paying taxes on it. Only thing that's guaranteed in life are death and taxes. But if you are self-employed and you are reporting your earned income like you are supposed to, this is up to $15,000 in refundable money. So money you could get in your tax refund. So let's talk about new provisions. If you are somebody who's self-employed or it's a 1099 contractor, anything like that, any business meals that you had were 100% deductible for this year. So the meals that I paid for business meetings, the meals that I provided to my staff while we worked in the office, I can write those off at 100%. Last year, I could only write off 50% of these meals. This year, I can write them all off. The child tax credit. So typically, this credit one is not fully refundable. So Buddy Biden, he increased this credit drastically. They increased this credit to be able to give people these advanced child tax payments. Again, this is going to be another letter that you are getting from the IRS. And the IRS is not going to start mailing these letters out until January, right? This letter will have the total that you received in child tax payments for last year. If you do not have this letter, you need to make sure that you have access to your irs.gov account so you can give your tax professional the exact amount that you received. Because if those numbers not matching, like if them X's and O's ain't the same, you're gonna be waiting for your tax refund. And based on the age of your child, like that was the determining factor of how much you received. Something else, another major change. I have seen this on the internet as a stimulus payment because for some reason people like to read information and spread misinformation. I've been seeing posts about a $8,000 stimulus check if you have kids. That is not a real thing. Buddy Biden is not giving us no more stimulus payments. But the dependent care credit did I think it doubled. It doubled this year. Also, it is fully refundable. So typically if you pay for childcare, so you pay for daycare, you pay for aftercare, anything to take care of your child outside of school, it's a credit, right? This year, that credit is one, it's fully refundable, and two, the income limits have changed drastically. So last year, or tax year 2020, if you made over $43,000, this credit started to phase out. Like you didn't get the full amount and the whole thing wasn't refundable. This year, this credit does not start to phase out until you hit $125,000 adjusted gross income. On the downside of this, typically people who are making that much money are spouses. I tell people all the time, marriage is a business relationship before it is anything else. You got double income. You got two people being able to manage the household. Two heads are better than one, more times than not. If you pay for childcare at all, this is going to be a lot of extra money for you. Something else has changed. The earned income tax credit. Typically, I think if you were under 23, you could not claim the earned income tax credit. Now the age requirement is 19. So if you are 19 and income-wise, you qualify for the earned income tax credit, you getting some extra money. It also no longer maxes out. So if you were over 65, you no longer qualify for the earned income tax credit. These tax provisions that I'm covering are just for federal taxes. They are not for state. Something else. So if you have dependents who are not citizens, so they don't have social security numbers, but they have ITINs, they can count as a qualifying child to make sure that you qualify for the earned income tax credit. That's something very new this year. People complain a lot about, oh, like you got these people that are not legal citizens to be getting these tax refunds. They're not getting tax refunds with an ITIN. But now it's a possibility. Something else that changed. If you are married, filing separate, right? Typically, a lot of the credits that people qualify for, like the learning credits, so like the American Opportunity Credit, the Lifetime Learning Credit, if you do married, filing separate, you are not eligible for those credits. Something is going to be a game changer this year. If you are married, filing separate, you now qualify for half of the earned income tax credit based on your income. Major difference. We almost done. We literally got like 3 more slides. Let me sip on my drink. I wanted to break down the child tax credit because I knew that I was going to have a lot of questions about this. So the child tax credit in 2020 was only $2,000. This year, they increased it to $3,600 for kids under 5 or 5 and under, and $3,000 for kids ages 6 to 17. Something else to change in this credit, the older your child got, the less of child tax credit you qualify for. This year, even if your child is 17, you still qualify for the max amount. The way that they did this, they broke the credit in half. So you will see a slight difference in your tax refund this year. Because they advanced a lot of these payments. Like a lot of people think, oh, well, if I got these child tax credit payments, these monthly payments, that I can still claim the full $3,600 on my taxes. You absolutely cannot, because you've already received half of that money, which is why it's very, very important that you guys are not attempting to file until you have either the numbers in your irs.gov account or that letter. Things that you can do to prepare for this season. Make sure you have all of your tax documents. If you are a Hannah Financial client, you are going to need your 6475 and that 6419. I'm not calling the IRS to figure out what you received, what you thought you received. Like, I'm not playing no guessing games with nobody. Because if your money get held up and you used our file now, pay later option, if your money get held up, our money got held up. Make sure y'all have these documents. And I know a lot of people is going to want to jump the gun. You filing your taxes before the IRS opens up is not going to get your tax return processed no faster. If you did not work at all this year, so something else that changed with the child tax credit. If you did not work at all this year, you were still eligible to receive those child tax payments. And since you didn't work, typically you wouldn't file a tax return, right? This year, say you got $1,500 in child tax payments for your child, you are still eligible to receive that other $1,500. You just have to make sure that you file taxes and you file them the correct way to receive the rest of your money. Something else to do to prepare. If you have moved from the address that is on your 2020 tax return, you need to update your address with the IRS yesterday. Because all of the correspondence that the IRS are going to be sending you guys are going to be via mail. And you want to make sure that they got the right address for you. Something else that I have seen floating around the internet, the IRS will never email you about anything at all. Any correspondence from the IRS is going to be via mail. They're not going to call you for anything. I have seen people posting like emails from the IRS, like asking for updated information. Do not click on those emails. Do not give them any information. The IRS will never email you about anything. Last but not least, what you can do to prepare is be patient. Literally, these past 2 years have been the biggest tax overhaul that we have seen in over 30 years. The downside of that, these same computers that the IRS are using to process y'all taxes, process stimulus payments, process advanced child tax payments, they're all the same system. Like they don't have separate systems. So they are still millions of returns behind. Like there are still people who filed, I know people who filed in February who still have not had their taxes processed. They filed electronically. And here it is, December 29th. For my clients and potential clients, what will the filing season look like for us? Per the usual, do not send me any tax submissions and you do not have all of your documents. I have 8 people working with me this year to make sure we are churning them out. I set a crazy tax goal for us this year. And it's important that I had the help that I need. We locked and loaded, baby. This year, I will be servicing clients in office. Children are welcome. TT Irene, love the kids. However, if you decide to bring a child to the office, you and your child are required to wear masks. I do not care about your vaccination status. I do not care about your medical condition that does not want you wearing masks. If you fall into that category, just send us your submission online. We will also be offering expedited services this year. When I tell you we will be working around the clock starting January 4th, I mean it. And if you are somebody who is just super in a rush, oh, I need my taxes done right now, you will be able to do that, but it will cost you a little extra. And now let's deep dive into these questions. I got 20 open questions. Let me see. I'm not using no bank statements. Y'all need to use the letter that they're mailing you, or you need to get access to your irs.gov account. Can you discuss how accepting those child tax payments impacts our return? We covered that. I have rental properties overseas. How is that reported on my taxes, and can Hannah Financial do that when prepping my taxes? Yes, ma'am. Is this the same for pensions? Yes. 401k pensions, same thing. If someone didn't file their taxes for 2020, does your tax service cover backdated taxes as well? Yes, we can electronically file up to 3 previous tax years. What if you don't have the letter 6475? Nobody will have that letter until January. And if you feel like it got lost in the mail, you need to get access to your IRS online account. The IRS literally, like, since the beginning of the year, taxpayers have not been able to get anybody from the IRS on the phone. So please do not depend on or bank on, oh, well, I'm gonna just call the IRS. That's not a thing. And y'all need to be maneuvering and preparing for such, even as a tax practitioner. So as a professional preparer, we have a completely separate department of the IRS to call if we have questions, concerns, etc. I have even had problems getting people on the phone. For the stimulus check, is there a place where I can see what I should have and should not received? Also, yep, irs.gov. Get all of the information that y'all need pertaining to stimulus payments, and the child tax, the advanced child tax payments are going to be in your irs.gov account. There were several people that didn't get the last CTC for December. Have you seen any reports on that? Yes, I have. But that has nothing to do with tax preparation. So we haven't been able to troubleshoot that. Like, some people got their payments, some people haven't. Hopefully when these letters come out, that actually reflects in the letter that, hey, we didn't issue you your last payment, and you can claim the rest on your taxes. But I know several people who have not received their child tax credit payment for December, and some in September. For some reason, they sent out paper checks and not direct deposit. Does money paid for daycare have to be from a licensed daycare provider? For example, children are watched by a relative and the relative is compensated. You are still eligible for the credit. However, you will need that person's social security number because you have to report that on your taxes. Will we have access to the replay for this? I think about it. Typically, the IRS opens on January 31st to like the electronic filing system. So the e-file system usually does not close until mid-December. And then it opens back up for hub testing mid-January. And then it officially opens January 31st for filing. Because the IRS is so backed up, I honestly do not think that the IRS is going to open up on time this year. But we will still be able to process and transmit returns when we are back in the office January 4th. Is the IRS going to tax Zelle and Cash App transactions? So if you have a business Zelle or a business Cash App, they have a requirement now to basically send you a 1099-K. So prior to this year, and I honestly don't know why people are such an uproar about this. If you are self-employed, 1099 contractor, making any money outside of W-2 wages, anything that you make over $400, you are supposed to be reporting on your taxes anyways. The only difference now is if you are using any type of electronic payments, prior to them passing this rule, they didn't have to report that income to the IRS, and now they do. I think the income limits prior were if you made over $20,000, they had to report, and if you made less than $20,000, they didn't, but now they have to report it. I moved to Lexington, Kentucky from Cleveland, but my employer is still withholding state taxes from Ohio. I've contacted my HR numerous times and was told that they're still waiting on approval from Kentucky, but the payments I made will automatically transfer. Is that true? Yes. You just got to make sure that you're going to have to file state and, you have to file Ohio taxes and Kentucky taxes. So you just need to make sure that those get filed correctly. Where can we book the tax consults? Our books are open, hannahfinancial.com. Will the SBA administration email you about your tax information? If you did the if you did the EIDL, the loan, no. Random question, how do you like Cognito as an intake form? I love it. I never received the third stimulus and cannot get access to irs.gov because they have old contact information. I've been trying to update for months. So how do I go about taking care of this? You would just claim the $1,400 on your taxes. So on our intake form, I am going to ask, did you receive your stimulus payment earlier this year for $1,400? If you did not, that means I have to claim it on your taxes. If you did and you forgot and I claim it on your taxes, it's going to hold up your tax return. We still need to use the questionnaire to submit documents and information. Yes, ma'am. So part of being a professional preparer, I have to have intake information on file for my clients each year. The only thing that I will not need from previous clients is y'all social security cards. So if you got kids or you just file yourself, we won't need copies of your social security cards because we already have those on file, but we will need your ID and your other tax documents. If your child no longer attends a school and you still owe the money, can the school withhold the tax statement that is sent showing how much you have paid over the year? Legally, yes. Ethically, they shouldn't be. How does the child tax credit impact payment parents that file every other year? So to my understanding, and keep in mind, this advanced child tax credit payment, this is the first year that we've ever seen anything like this. So typically the way it works with rotating years, if you're, so you got a kid, dad claimed a kid for 2020. So dad has been getting the $300 a month for the kid. But this year it's mom's turn to file the child. You did not receive child tax payments for that child. So you should be able to claim the entire credit. We will not know what the IRS is doing in that situation until we actually get there. Like until we are preparing returns and seeing what the IRS is doing. But they haven't sent out any information about that. But just typically the way credits work, in a situation like that, you should be able to receive the full $3,600 or $3,000 for your child if you were not receiving payments for them this year. Can business taxes be filed with Hannah Financial with the same spreadsheet used last year? Yes, because that spreadsheet is the breakdown of the expenses that are authorized by the IRS, the expense categories. So those will not change. Can your 18-year-old file taxes if you work part-time, even though I claim him? Yes. If you are filing with us, you need to send us your child's information also, so we can make sure that his taxes get filed the correct way. Because if they do not, you will not be able to claim him. Well, you'll still be able to claim him, but we'll have to mail your return in and not electronically transmit it. What if you still haven't received your tax refund from last year? You need to contact the IRS. If you are a client of ours and you have not received your tax refund, message us in your secure client portal. Will the IRS require us to file our PPP loan? No, but depending on what state you are in, they might. With the Cash App rule, is that $400 each transfer or $400 for the year? It's for the year. Anything taxes is for the entire tax year. Do we have to pay taxes on the EIDL loan? No, because you have to pay that money back. Isn't there going to be a letter from the IRS about the STIRS? Yes, we covered that already. Sorry, last two cognito questions. I'm not answering those. If you pay taxes up front in your PUA, do you still have to pay? Yes, you still have to claim it. So something that changed, this actually changed in 2020. The W-4, which is basically the paper that you fill out to tell your employer how much taxes to withhold, that changed. So you used to be able to claim exemptions. So say I It was me. I got 2 people in my house. My exemptions would be 3, right? You can no longer claim exemptions. So basically what the IRS wants everybody to do, the IRS wants everybody to file or withhold taxes at the single rate. And then if you overpaid, when you file your taxes, you'll get back what you overpaid. And if you underpaid, then you'll end up with a tax bill. If you are a student of mine and you have questions pertaining to class, please ask those in class in our private group. Chat over here rocking. Hello, are there any new home purchase tax credits for this year? At the federal level, no. I actually don't think that we've seen those since like 2008. Those were Obama era credits. And as much as people be on the fence about Trump, one of the things he did is like, you really have to read up on the tax code and tax law to understand how much Trump fucked the middle class when it came to taxes. And a lot of people don't even realize that they are middle class, and they are. Like all of these tax cuts, these tax breaks, all of that, none of that applied to the middle class. None of it. Do we have to pay taxes on? No. On government grants. Nope. Do you also do accounting or financial service work outside of taxes? We offer bookkeeping, but accounting, no. Can I claim all the stimulus or just the last one? Just the last one. Each tax year, the last stimulus we got, which was the one for $1,400, was for tax year 2021. So if you did not receive the first 2 payments, those get claimed on your 2020 taxes. If you guys have questions, please put them in the Q&A. I'm going through this chat and I'm like, y'all don't like to follow instructions. It's just easier for me to see questions over here than it is rummaging through the chat. Is it too late to sign up for your bookkeeping services for 2022? No. So for this upcoming year, you can pay for your bookkeeping monthly. If you need your bookkeeping done for 2021, you have to pay for that upfront for the entire year. Is your tax book for sale or is it only for your students? Y'all talking about that, the tax book? That's an actual book. You can buy that at taxbook.com. This year I bought those for my preparers. So my preparers in office and for the Hannah Financial Tax Partners. So this year we will have offices in Charlotte, Arlington, Dallas, and somewhere in Jersey. I forgot the city. I bought those for them as well. But if you are looking to purchase your own, thetaxbook.com. Where there'll be a portal for non-filers to claim the child tax credit. They would just do the free file thing on the IRS website, or if they want to file with a professional preparer, they can go that route as well. Folks interested in signing up for your tax services can do that at any time, or do we need to sign up? Nope, you can do it at any time. The link is not on the website right now because we are not accepting tax submissions until January 4th. But once the link is live, hopefully before January 4th, our website revamp will be done. But if it is not, the link will be live anyways on the website to submit information to us. The reason we offer consultations, a lot of y'all that know me know I don't do free. I don't talk to nobody for free. I'm not giving you free advice. I'm not hopping on a quick call. I don't do free estimates. People don't value free, and I value my time and energy and my team members' time and energy. So if you have questions, like a lot of people have questions about filing, or they have like specific situations going on with like their tax situation, they'll schedule a consultation just to get better clarity of what they need to do to get prepared for the season. Or, hey, I got these taxes from a few years ago that I need to get completed. They'll have questions about things like that. And if you do schedule a consultation with us, I think they're $49 or $50. If you do schedule a consultation, the fee that you paid for your consultation will go towards your prep fee if you decide to file with us. So like I have, we got a lot of regular clients, like our client retention is pretty high because I'm a head case, but I take care of my peoples. So my client retention rate is very high. My regular clients usually don't schedule consultations. Like they know this is how Irene need my paperwork. I'm gonna get it to her like this and let Hannah Financial do their thing. If we are a previous client and want to continue, do we have to do another consultation? Nope. My child just turned 18 in October. Was he still supposed to get child stimulus? Yep. Can sales tax from profit of a business be filed when I file my regular taxes? No, your sales tax needs to be filed separately with your state, and we don't file sales taxes. If using your service and God forbid the client's audited, do you assist with that? We offer audit protection as an upsell, and the people that handle the audit are tax attorneys and enrolled agents. But us personally, we do not, in office, like we do not handle audits. And a lot of times people think like the IRS holding up their return or saying like something was miscalculated or something like that is an audit. That's not an audit. An audit is when they tell you, we think you was doing some funny stuff and we need all of your bank statements, tax documents, et cetera, that you used to prepare this tax return. I live in Alabama, but work remotely based in Indiana. Do I have to file for Indiana and Alabama? No, you should be filing for Alabama, but if they Are you being taxed in Indiana as well? Because if you are, you would still need to file an Indiana state return to get that money back. How can I become a student? So anytime that I do intensive classes, like my high ticket classes are usually weeks. Like this last tax course that I did, this was a 12-week course, and class is over. Class will reopen next year. And I think I'm gonna open registration a little earlier this year, but yeah, class is closed. You're welcome. If I am filing with the sole proprietor business and married, will I be filing with you as a business or individual? Well, one, your business taxes will be filed with your individual taxes. The only time that your business taxes are filed separately is if you are a corporation. Pricing for our services this year will also be live on the website Friday. If you are doing married filing separate and you and your husband are both doing married filing separate, those are two tax returns. So you both will be responsible for paying individual tax prep fee. But if you are doing married filing joint, that will be one tax return. So you would pay the filing fee for one tax return. You're welcome. Is the bookkeeping service available now on the website? Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm just scrolling through the questions to make sure that I didn't miss none in the Q&A box. Does your bookkeeping offer tax quarterly payments? Yes. So you would pay for bookkeeping and tax prep fee. If you decide to use us for bookkeeping, you'll get a discount on tax prep service. LLCs are not corporations. LLCs get filed with your individual taxes. Do you have to make an appointment for in-office filing with you, or you guys? We will be accepting walk-ins. The thing about walk-ins, if you have business taxes, you'll be better off walking in, dropping it off, and letting us do work. I personally do not like to prepare taxes with clients in my office. One, I talk a lot. I'm very easily distracted. And when we are preparing returns, I like to focus on what I got going on. So sometimes people take that as offensive because I have had clients come in and they want to talk. I don't want to talk to you. I want to prepare your taxes. And you don't want me preparing your taxes, and I can't focus 100% on what I'm doing. But there are some clients who are really not tech savvy. So like they'll come in, we'll help them with the intake form, scan all of their documents, file them, call them, get them together. And there are some people who just prefer to see somebody and want to bring their documents in office. So that's why we will be filing returns or like accepting clients in office, but it will be, you have to have a mask from the time you walk in the door to the time that you walk out. Because even with the amount of help that I have this season, literally my entire office was out with COVID last week. I'm not chancing it at all with nobody in here. And starting the 3rd week of January, we'll be in here 6 days a week. So when I tell you, like, we will literally be following around the clock, I absolutely mean it. Can we do married filing joint if we both have separate businesses of our own? Or if so, should we be listed as head of household? If you are married, neither one of you are head of household. Your filing status is either married or married filing separate. With the exception if you have an estranged spouse and you and your spouse have not lived in the same household for 6 months of the year last year. If you and your spouse reside together, you no longer qualify for the head of household filing status. Can I come in with my bookkeeping document requirements? You can drop them off. But yeah. When filing business taxes for LLC with your individual taxes, what documents are needed? Your profit and loss statement, which means you need to have bookkeeping in place. You need to know what your expenses and income was for your business for the year. You file in the state that you live in, but some states, if you earn income in their state, some states will require you to pay state taxes, but it will vary state to state. That's why they are state taxes. Everybody got different stuff going on. To clarify, we don't need a new consultation each year if we're previously a client. Nope. You only need a consultation if you want to get somebody on the phone prior to filing. Like if you have questions, etc., you need to schedule a consultation. I'm gonna do questions for 2 more minutes. So if you guys have questions, make sure that you are asking them in the Q&A box because I'm not checking the chat. Mm-hmm. I really needed this tea. I was coughing up a whole lung before I got on here. Do you take payments out of the actual tax return versus upfront? We will have both options available. Oh, file now, pay later. Same cash advance options. The file now, pay later option that Jackson Hewitt and H&R Block offer we can offer the exact same products. And all of our preparers are IRS ASFP certified. So yeah. You're very welcome, Ms. Hobbs. What's the deadline to submit tax documents to Hannah Financial? We file all year. We do take like time off during the summer, and we do not file taxes April 7th through the 15th. So first quarter of the year, if you are filing first quarter, you need to send us your information before April 7th. That crowd of people that rush between the 7th and the 15th of April, I will never subject anybody that I have on payroll to the headache it is dealing with filing those tax returns that week. So from January 4th until April 6th, we will be filing 6 days a week. Actually 7 days a week, but we'll be in the office 6 days a week. Is there a dollar amount cap you can write off on your commercial or residential property? Depends on your filing status and if you have income outside of those. No question, Irene, but thank you so much for this information. You are very welcome. Very welcome. No questions, just saying thank you for the information, your time and professionalism. Thank you guys a lot. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully y'all will come and make the switch to Hannah Financial. Also, if you are local, we have 2 billboards up in the city of Cleveland. If you see a billboard, take a picture of it, post it and tag us, make sure your profile is not private. You will be eligible to receive 50% off your tax prep fee for this season. If you are in my tax prep business training, you will have access to these live, to the lives. You will have access to the slides and the playback. The playback of this video will be available within the next 24 hours. I'll make sure I post them on my social media. Where are the billboards? One is around the corner from our office. So we are almost downtown, but my office is located on 36th between St. Clair and Superior and Tyler Village. So one of the billboards is on 39th and St. Clair, literally right around the corner. And the other one is on 22nd and Carnegie, across from the parking garage that Cleveland State built. So that one is actually downtown. If we made additions to our home, can we claim that on our taxes? No. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get off here. I made the commitment to go do this for an hour for free. So here we are. See you again. Text me, please. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here. You guys be safe. I look forward to servicing you this season. If you are a returning client, I look forward to welcoming you to the Hannah Financial family if you are a new client. And you guys have a good night.